The Ever-Changing Brain. An Introduction to Neuroplasticity. For centuries, the human brain was considered a static organ. It was believed that our cognitive abilities were fixed after childhood. However, groundbreaking research has shattered this long-held belief. We now know that the brain possesses an extraordinary ability to change and adapt throughout our lives. This remarkable phenomenon is known as neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity refers to the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections. It's the process by which our brains develop, learn, and recover from injuries. Every time we learn a new skill, form a new habit, or experience something novel, our brains are physically changing. Imagine the brain as a dynamic, ever-evolving landscape. New pathways are constantly being forged while old ones are pruned away. This dynamic process allows us to adapt to new situations, acquire knowledge, and refine our skills. Understanding neuroplasticity is empowering. It means that our brains are not fixed entities. We have the power to shape our cognitive abilities and improve our mental well-being throughout our lives. A historical perspective from fixed to flexible brains. The concept of neuroplasticity is relatively new. For centuries, the prevailing scientific view was that the adult brain was fixed and incapable of significant change. This belief began to shift in the mid-20th century with the pioneering work of neuroscientist Paul Bach-y-Rita. Bach-y-Rita's research challenged the traditional view of the brain as a hardwired machine. He demonstrated that the brain could reorganize itself in response to sensory input. His most famous experiment involved a device that allowed blind people to see through tactile sensations on their tongues. This groundbreaking work paved the way for further research into neuroplasticity. Scientists began to uncover the mechanisms by which the brain changes and adapts. Studies on stroke patients showed remarkable recovery of function, further solidifying the idea that the brain was far more malleable than previously thought. The discovery of neurogenesis, the birth of new neurons in the adult brain, added another layer of complexity to our understanding of neuroplasticity. This finding challenged the dogma that the brain supply of neurons was finite and opened up new avenues for research into brain repair and regeneration. Breaking free from fixed mindsets, unleashing your cognitive potential. Despite the overwhelming evidence supporting neuroplasticity, many people still cling to the belief that their intelligence and abilities are fixed traits. This fixed mindset can be incredibly limiting. When people believe their abilities are set in stone, they are less likely to embrace challenges. They may avoid new experiences out of fear of failure. This fear of failure stems from the belief that any setback is a reflection of their inherent limitations. In contrast, individuals with a growth mindset see challenges as opportunities for growth. They believe that their abilities can be developed through effort and perseverance. A growth mindset embraces learning and sees mistakes as valuable stepping stones on the path to mastery. The implications of these mindsets extend far beyond academic achievements. A fixed mindset can permeate all aspects of life, hindering personal growth, creativity, and resilience. On the other hand, a growth mindset fosters a love of learning, a willingness to embrace challenges, and a greater sense of fulfillment. By understanding and embracing neuroplasticity, we can shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. This shift in perspective opens up a world of possibilities, allowing us to unlock our true cognitive potential. The science of neuroplasticity, synapses, neurons, and brain structure. Neuroplasticity is a complex process involving a symphony of cellular and molecular changes within the brain. At the heart of this process lies the synapse, the tiny gap between neurons where communication occurs. Synaptic plasticity refers to the ability of synapses to strengthen or weaken over time. This strengthening or weakening is influenced by the frequency and pattern of activity between neurons. When we learn something new, the connections between neurons involved in that learning process become stronger. Neurogenesis, the birth of new neurons, is another key mechanism of neuroplasticity. While neurogenesis occurs primarily in specific regions of the brain, these newborn neurons can migrate to other areas and integrate into existing circuits. This process contributes to learning, memory, and brain repair. Neuroplasticity also involves structural changes in the brain. Learning a new language, for example, can lead to an increase in the size of certain brain regions associated with language processing. Similarly, engaging in activities that require fine motor skills, such as playing a musical instrument, can lead to structural changes in the motor cortex. These are just a few examples of the many ways in which the brain can change and adapt throughout life. By understanding the underlying mechanisms of neuroplasticity, we can better appreciate the brain's remarkable capacity for growth and transformation.